food runs our life. And the
Right.
truth is that if we don't understand it and we don't get a hold of it,
Mm,
we won't be able to live our best life long term.
right.
It's You can live it temporarily in pleasure, but long term, it's going to come and get you. And I would just eat a lot of bread because I thought, oh, bread is low fat. And I was counting calories and I was doing all these things. So I had no clue. And
Mm,
I passed out in my early 20s. My blood sugar was out of control. And I was driving. So I kind of don't even remember some of it, but I was driving and then I was off on the side of the road. And I went to the doctor eventually, and they told me that I had some blood sugar issues
mm.
and that I just remember them saying, like, I should drink something sugary or eat some candy or something. And I thought, that's probably how it happened in the first place. That just didn't feel like a solution to me. And what's tricky about food, and I'll say this and then I'll pause for a minute because you may have some questions before we get into the biggest mistakes. But with food, it's you eat something and it does not generally right away cause an issue. Like you eat something fried or what have you, and right then and there that day, it maybe does not give you a heart attack that day, like right then and there. Or you eat a piece of cheesecake and right then and there that day, maybe it does raise your blood sugar, but right then it doesn't do you in. But it is that compound effect, right? Over time, that challenges us. And food is so good and it's so pleasurable.
Oh, yes.
It's hard to believe or hard to want to believe that this thing that may not be serving us long term in that short term, you can't get past it. You're like, I'm just gonna eat this right now. And
Yeah.
then later it may get you.
All of what you said, you stepped on my toes a couple of times.
Yep. Ow. Ow.
But I had a recent conversation with someone, and I was saying with food, it's so difficult because you have to eat.
Yep.
And for me, I'm very aware of my choices. I'm very aware that I need to do better. I'm very aware that when I eat better, I feel better.
Yeah.
But it doesn't click and stay. I've had moments where I've done really well for a long period of time. I was vegetarian easing into being a vegan for almost a year, and then I just wanted some pizza.
Let me say it this way. The folks that provide us the food, the pizza makers and the french fries and all the stuff that's yummy to the tummy, they're in the lab with chemicals, with
Right.
rats and mice and people and all the things, testing at what level can they make your brain turn on to the point where you cannot say no.
I
You
am
know,
convinced that is why I see more unhealthier looking, I'm not going to say name, but unhealthier looking people in public today
yeah.
as we see, when we were kids,
Clean plate.
and it's clean your plate,
Yeah.
Clean your plate or you ain't gonna get up off that table until you eat all that.
Right.
Exactly, yes.
It's messaging, it's tradition. And think about it, like food is, we've built a whole world around it, celebrations around it. Every time you have a party or somebody's married, or think about this, when people pass away,
Yep.
right? Then the food, a lot of times if they pass away from some health condition, the food that you're eating at the repast is the very food that
Right.
And people be mad if they see no repass.
And there's always a place, like I'm told you, I'm never going to tell people, don't eat what you like, because who wants to live this whole life not having things that food is a pleasure source. But it's learning how to manage it logistically. So there's the logistics of it, like the physical management of it, but then it's also the mental management of it. And the mental management of it is harder than the physical management of it, because we're in a world that doesn't support us that way. So whoever you're hanging around, the 5 people, that's who you're going to eat like, be like, all of those things.
Yeah.
So if you are able to, within your tribe, say, okay, tribe, this is how we're going to approach this. And there's so many different strategies, but the thing that is what makes the most sense, and I always ask people, like, what are you willing to do? Because when I was a novice nutritionist, I was probably giving people guidance, but not really asking them what they're willing to do. Like, I was like, this is what, you should do.
Right.
Tell nobody what you should do, because what you should do has nothing to do with what you're gonna do. So I always want to know, like, what are you willing to do? And then we can go with that. And some people are like, okay, baby steps. Like, I could do a big salad before I eat. Okay, cool. Let's do that. Right? Let's start with what you can do and what you are willing to do and what you're willing to be consistent with, and then move forward. There's so many strategies.